Hey guys, welcome back to the Bros Films channel, and today we'll be looking at the free planes of the games for all your beginners out there. So we'll take a look at the P-35 and then we'll move on from there. So the P-35 is actually one of the best turn fighters in the game. However, it's really slow, and you can upgrade it to 50 cals, which is quite nice. However, it's still going to be a little tricky to get kills with it. Now we have the Claude, which is a little bit faster. It can definitely out-energy the P-35. But I wouldn't say it can really outturn the P-35. I think the P-35 actually turns the best. And this thing, you can strap 250-kilogram bombs on there, which is quite helpful in taking out ships. However, you won't do too much damage with it. It's like 200 pounds of bombs. And then the Japanese also get the Kate, which is a heavy bomber. And you can upgrade this thing to have a torpedo, which is really nice. It also has a back gunner, which, if you know how to use, is actually one of the most effective back gunners I've seen, because of its like very open view, which helps a lot, and it's a lot better than the Dauntless with its like box view. But anyway, moving on to the Hurricane, we have the Hurricane now, and the Hurricane actually has some pretty decent armament with 830 cals, which is, you know, it's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's definitely really deadly, and it's even better when you don't know how to aim it. You can just pray and spray with it almost, and there's no upgrades for it, so it's a pretty cheap plane. Now you have the Stuka, which is one of the hardest ones to use, more because it's a bomber, I would say, than a fighter, even though it's kind of designed to do both, which doesn't really make too much sense. But you'll find better luck, which is bombing with that thing. You can upgrade its engine quite a bit, and you can also give it some really high-powered bombs, over 1,000 pounds of bombs. So if you're looking for just dealing damage, I'd recommend the Stuka. So now let's see how these things fight. Now before we really get started with this video, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with the Bros Films channel, even though I've been quite sick lately. It took about a week to recover, and you know, I still wake up with sore throats, but I'm able to talk now, which is great. And so I'm able to edit now and get something up, and I'm really excited to post a video. So someone's only make like a beginner's guide to WOD, and that's what I've been trying to do here. And I actually got really good footage, and I was super excited about that. I'm kind of pushed on time. I got a lot of stuff to do, and like I was really hoping for some good clips, and I'm like, you know, not many people do too well in P-35s or whatever. But I would recommend playing arcade mode if you're a new player, because that's where you'll find it's easier to get kills. So what you want to do is you just want to climb, like just climb as high as you can in any plane, because the more altitude you have, the better the chance you have at living is going to be. The only time I wouldn't recommend climbing is if you're in a Spitfire and maybe a Japanese plane in some cases, because the Spitfire doesn't do too well in high altitudes. But the American planes do the best in high altitudes, along with German fighters, so make sure to stay up in high altitudes. Then you want to dive down on your opponents kind of like this, or however you want to do it. And I wouldn't really recommend a head-on-head with the P-35, but he's not going to hit me. He's coming up way too weird. And I'm just going to turn right behind this guy. I think this guy's in a Corsair, which is going to be a really awesome kill if I can take him out. And the Corsairs, they have a lot of health, so you just got to be careful with them. And it doesn't look like this guy's really fighting back too much, which is quite unusual. And he's bailed out. Excuse me. So that was a pretty good kill. Now there's this guy called Big Nuts right behind us, which is a very interesting name, because we're going to pummel him right now. I'm hoping, at least. And this is a voiceover, so I'm supposed to know the outcome, but it's been I recorded this some time ago. Alright, so anyways, we're right behind him. You have a good lead. Now when you're aiming at the red dot, if there is a red dot, which is usually when you want to shoot, you want to shoot a little bit in front of it, just in that general area. And you also have to use your brain on this. Like, the red dot would not always be where you want to shoot. So this guy's right behind me right now. And because I'm in a P-35, you can outturn these things. So don't be afraid to turn fight them. You will outturn everything in a P-35. Just make sure to do highs and lows to keep your energy up, because the only problem is your energy. And I know I'm in arcade mode, so if you're in arcade mode, you're actually going to do really well when it comes to energy, because you can be stalling and like your plane won't give a it won't care. See, look, I'm stalling right now, right? It just doesn't turn out too badly. So you can just continue to fight like this. So there's like a lot of people behind me. I'm actually getting really worried here, because everyone here has like high outplanes. So I saw that BF-109. That looks like a BF-109G maybe, or an E. Not too sure. I don't know. But this is probably an E. But anyways, I made it overshoot me, which is a really good tactic, especially when they're going super fast. And now I'm able to pick some shots off at them. And you just want to knock pieces off their plane, usually. That's why I like 50 cows, because they're really good at doing that on 20 millimeters and stuff. But like as he just knocked off both of his aerialons, so he's already done. The battle's over for him before you can even do much. But I want to finish him off because you can still fly without those, and we just blow him up right there. And if a piece of your plane gets blown off, note that it's gonna slow that plane down a lot and just make the kill a lot easier. So let's continue. Alright, so now let's take this guy out. So this guy's in a course there, so it'll be really easy to out-turn him. As long as he just doesn't get his guns on us, we'll be fine. And my main worry with these is just that they'll run away from us and just, you know, hit and run type stuff. And we actually landed really good shots there, knocked off an aerialon, which when you're in a course there, that's like a really big deal. Like it really affects your gameplay. And now we're just knocking off more chunks of his plane. So he's not doing too well right now. He's probably just gonna run into something. He's just gonna get destroyed right now. It's like way too late in the fight for him to do anything. So he goes ahead and ejects, but because I just want to kill the Corsair, I just killed the plane anyways. Because why not? Even though this thing has really limited ammo with what it gets, like, because it's like, you know, 50 cows, it doesn't get a lot of them. And 400 rounds is not a lot. So anyways, I got behind that plane. I just took a couple hits there. But I think the rounds bounced, so I'm okay. You just want to be careful with the tail gunners. I'm not really that careful with them just because, you know, I get a little too excited and just stay right on their tail and they're just firing at me. It's just more interesting like that. But anyways, this guy just crashes straight to the ground. I'm not too sure if that's offensive or not, so I'll just leave that up to you guys to decide. I'm sorry about that. I just thought it was a little funny. Now we're here with one of the best starter planes in the game, the Cloud. This is especially good for realistic mode because it has a scope as well, which is like super awesome. The scope and an iron sight. And the Dauntless is stuck with only a scope. And when I was using the Dauntless, like, you gotta know how to use the scope to use the scope. And it makes it a lot harder for leading, so I often just guess and somehow got a lot of kills with it. In fact, I got most of my realistic kills with it. Somehow, I don't know, I went on a 4 kill streak. I told you guys that story my first time playing realistic. But anyways, we got HE11, and this HE11 will shred this Cloud apart. Because 13 millimeters against the Cloud, and the Cloud doesn't really stand much of a chance. So the problem with the HE11 is that it's it's like side gunners. They don't really got much of a view of you guys of planes on the side. So if you're on the side, you're gonna be pretty safe, but you gotta close the distance first, which is one of the hardest parts, especially with the Cloud, because it's a little slow, but it's really fast for a starting plane. So as you see, those rounds are landing really close to me, and I think if you're on the left side of it, it has a harder time hitting you. Either way, I kind of doubt it's gonna hit me anyways, but you just gotta be a little safe because it's just two. Well, maybe more than 2, but like, you know, it'll take you out really fast. So he made a fatal mistake of just turning straight into my stream of fire, so I'm going to land a lot of hits there. And this is going to shred his plane apart. Now this plane uses 7.7 millimeters, which is really, really weak. So you just got to be, you know, really good with your shots, because you'll have to land a lot of them to actually get a kill. Especially against US or German planes or like bombers and stuff. Because this HE11 will take a lot of it. Luckily this thing has a scope, so I'm going to hop in like first person and just try sniping it out, which is a lot easier. So the scope actually lines up with the crosshair, so it's really, really useful. So I'm able to land a lot of sniping rounds on him and just get quite a lot of hits, frankly, on him. And he's not going to be able to do much against it because he's too busy bombing to fire back at me, so I'm in a really good position right now. And if you look at the top right-hand screen, you can just see him smoking and just getting hit a lot. And he's about to go down pretty soon. He's already losing pieces of his plane, and he's just losing control, basically. So even when that red dot is not there, that doesn't mean you can't hit him. It just means it'll be a little bit tougher sometimes. You just have to use your sniper rounds, and that scope really helps with it. So something went wrong with this plane eventually. I think maybe his elevator was knocked off or something. But anyways, he's just going down, and I'm just going to fall on him because I'm starting to think he's trying to dive away from me. But then the dive gets gradually steeper, and he just plummets into the ocean. So I'm kind of guessing his elevator was gone there, or he just gave up. I don't know what happened. But it was most likely his elevator. So this guy nearly kills me here. I'm surprised he missed. And even if he didn't miss, I thought he was going to ram me like everyone else. So this guy, he doesn't stand a chance against me. He's not going to be able to out-turn me. He will be able to out-energy me, but, like, out-turn me is not. It's just going to take a lot of bullets, so I got to be prepared to not miss a lot, because I only got 400 rounds left. And this aren't even 50 cals, so it'll be a little tougher. And just got to aim a little bit in front of that dot, just kind of spray in that area, and as they get closer, just hold it down, because they're landing a few at least. This guy steadies out for me, which makes the job a lot easier. Land a few right there, and then a couple more. And eventually I'll get the kill after I shoot him up a whole bunch. And he kind of jumped there, which was unfortunate, but still going to land those hits. And he's not smoking yet, so he's still, you know, got a pretty stable plane, but eventually we're going to get a lucky shot. And he did maybe bomb our carrier. Okay, he did bomb our carrier there, which kind of sucked. He's getting farther away, but at least he's turning back for either another run on the ship or another run on us. I don't know. I think he's pretty convinced that he's not gonna fight us. Cause he's kind of just focusing all on the ship. He's just going for ground kills. And it does look like he has one more bomb left, so he might just be trying to drop that, which he probably will. And, you know, so actually I landed a lot of rounds there somehow, which is quite nice. And it looks like he's quite wounded now. He's probably really low on the health part of his plane, so he'll blow up if anything. But he's missing an aileron right now, so I just gotta knock off the other one, or get his elevator, or just something to slow him down. He got hit again. He's lost something different this time, and can't really tell what he's trying to do right now. Looks like he's just turning a whole bunch, just trying to take out the carrier before I take him out. Yeah, that's basically what he's doing. He dropped his bomb. It's probably gonna hit. Yep, dead hit. They don't miss in arcade mode. Okay, now he's gonna climb up, and I'm gonna try to just lead. You always want to like have a preset lead more than you have to, and then just hold down the triggers. They turn right into you, just like that. And I'm just gonna pull right above him right there because he's gonna end up turning, and he'll position me in a pretty good spot. For the sake of time, let's just see him like crash right into the ocean like they usually do. So he just loses complete control and just dives into the ocean, which is actually really funny. War doesn't change. People don't change. Planes, they change. Planes change. But this pilot, he burned to death. He didn't eject. He burned to death. The whole plane from the engine up is on fire. There's a close-up. Guys, what are pilots doing? They're just letting themselves die. Oh, he did eject. But you just saw a dead body fall. Don't let this be you guys. Don't forget, pull the eject button. It can save a life. Or two. He was too late. He didn't get out in time. Get a hashtag eject in the comments below. So let's recap on what happened. Basically, those two pilots right there, they kind of just sat in there while they're burning to death, and then when they finally got out of the cockpit, they just stood there in the flames, so I'm guessing they're kind of dead. Anyways, the Hurricane's a pretty sluggish plane. It turns pretty well, and it does have pretty good armament, so it's definitely a good beginner plane. However, it does require a little bit of skill. I wouldn't say skill necessarily, but it'll be a little more tricky to use, and it doesn't have a lot of health. It has a lot more health than some of the other planes, so you'll have a pretty good shot at with this one. I definitely recommend it. It's really fun to use just because of the 830 cals. But like BF-109Gs, they'll pick you off pretty easily if you're not careful. So just keep that in mind. Right now this quad's about to get wrecked by 830 millimeters. Never mind, someone crashed into him. But this P-35 will get wrecked by 830 calibers. And yeah, we'll see what happens to this guy. I don't even know what I was saying before. I was just rambling. Oh snap, that's his wing. Oh, he's not ejecting. Oh my gosh. Oh man, guys. Oh, that. No words. For your newbies who don't know how to eject, pull both of the yellow things down, and you'll eject quite safely. Just make sure you're at a high altitude, because this guy's gonna splat to the ground. But at least he tried. At least he tried. But now you guys know how to eject, so you don't die like everyone else died. So I may have forgotten that I was like voice recording. I thought I was just watching the clip. So I was just going there, and then I started reacting to it because I was like, oh wait, it's recording. Oh man, his wing snapped off. It's kind of funny, so I just kept it. Usually I'd redo it, but still. It was kind of funny. So let's just take a look at the Stuka. Now the Stuka is going to be definitely the hardest plane to use. In fact, it was really tough for me to use it as well. For some reason they gave the back cutter like no visible room at all, so you basically can't rotate the turret. It's like it's jammed, but it's not. But it seems like they did it on purpose for some reason. Whoever had the bright idea to do that really needed it. Probably a thing up to it. I don't know. But this is the plane with like the really loud siren that alerts everyone to your position, so they know that you're gonna bomb everything. But the reason why that siren's there is actually to scare away. Well, I wouldn't say scare away, but like just to scare the villages nearby and stuff. And I'd say it's quite effective at that, assuming you don't get hit by like a 500-pound bomb. In this case, it's taking like a 400-kilogram bomb, so that's like 800 pounds. Probably around 1,000 pounds, because it's like 2.2 to a pound. So yeah, like 1,000-pound bomb. So that yeah, what do you think about that? So I was gonna try riding the ground right here a bit, and it seems like it's pretty fun to do this. I did it in the Cape for like a very long time. I was just riding all the mountains. It's so much fun. I definitely recommend it if you're like super bored in the match. And I should have kept riding there, but I wanted to get some footage with the plane, so I figured I might as well just go and dogfight a bit with this thing. Because a lot of people ask me, how do you dogfight in the Stuka? And I tell them, you don't. You really don't dogfight with it. Just go for bombing runs and stuff. Well, I guess this thing does have a really good up and down motion. I guess that's what it's good at. Everything else sucks. So I was really scared about this P-38 because I know a P-38 would wreck me. So I was going to do the lightweight bomb, but because I was kind of rushed on time because like something behind me like shooting at me, I decided I might as well just go for that. Now I hop on the back gun and I quickly demolish that thing. But I get hit by Flak. Like, come on. Flak? I'm pretty sure it wasn't him. It was definitely Flak. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you liked it, make sure to drop that like button. And if you didn't like it, let me know by dropping the dislike button. But I all know you liked it, so yeah. Also, make sure to comment below if you have any suggestions or know why that's happening with the screen. Oh, I think I know why it's happening. Oh yeah, I tried scaring my brother that the computer was glitching out. But I think he saw right through it. But anyways, yeah. So, make sure to subscribe if you're new, drop that like button, all that good stuff. And maybe I'll see you again doing this. And I got a really awesome thing. Got a really awesome present for my brother for Hanukkah. And it was like a War Thunder joystick. It wasn't made by War Thunder, but like it's a joystick like for planes, specifically for planes. And I'm using it so much, so if I might live stream War Thunder one day and you might just see my hand on that joystick like 24/7, just moving it and trying to fly in realistic mode. Even though I still suck at realistic mode, I'm still trying. Like I want to be good at it, but it's so hard even with the joystick. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is G9 from the Bros Children's channel signing out.